saying is if more men will get enrolled in therapy and realize it's going to help them in the better scheme of things,
How
then
do you
this
know
will.
we're not getting
That's
therapy?
what I'm saying.
How do you know
Sorry.
we're not getting
I
therapy?
really can't pick sides here,
Hold
but
on.
what I'm going to say is when a person comes to their self, that can be a man or a woman, that is when they take the opportunity to seek help. Can I say from one aspect, women who, some single women or women who have been in experienced different traumas, they've gone to see a therapist. Yes, there are men. There are more men going to see therapists as well. They may not know how to navigate it. I've assisted some men in doing that. So my thing is, it's when a person comes to themselves. And the real question is, when somebody does come to themselves, how do we perceive them? Do we give them another opportunity to be able to show up better? So we don't want to hold it over their head. And I just really wanted to make sure that I got that out, is that when a
You,
person comes to themselves, to know that they need to heal, to know that they need to show up better.
you know what I have a problem with is that it's this assumption that men have to do it the way that y'all do it in order for us to be successful at it. We just had King Talk on Tuesday, and you would and they asked, and I don't know if JR asked it or Trev asked it, but they asked, "Do you think this is therapy for us?" And all the men on King Talk was like, "Yeah, man, this is my therapy on it." You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
was Shannon.
We get therapy from different ways. We don't have to always like to
Yeah,
assume that
it
we
doesn't look the
have
same.
to move the same way that y'all move is ridiculous. And to assume that men are unhealed, when I'm sorry, Fresh and Fit only had 1.5 million subscribers, but the Shade Room got 25 million followers, and majority of them are women. And if you go to any Shade Room comment section, majority of them are hurt. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like women are somehow more healed than men. That's ridiculous. We're all hurting, but you're going to sit here and get on this app and lie about men like that? Come on, man. You better than that. That's why I kept saying that's not true.
It's been the generalization. It's been the norm. So, I mean, just like maybe she's had that experience. And only you can speak for.
Wait, what's been the norm though? What's been the
All
norm?
I'm saying is this. How about going to someone who's licensed and educated in therapy and not sitting amongst yourselves saying, hey, this is therapeutic? Go
No,
to
I
someone
can.
who's
Well,
like,
women do that all the time,
I
though.
can't.
Women do that all the time.
Women
They
do
sit
it all
amongst
the damn
themselves
go to
time.
therapy,
and
y'all.
call
Go to
it
therapy.
therapy.
Go to
I,
therapy, y'all. Call up
because
your
when
local
men,
resources in your area and go to therapy, please.
okay, when the men say that they partner with each other or they talk with each other on various platforms, or whenever they have an opportunity to have a conversation, that is also therapeutic. Only because I think even in the Bible it talks about how you have to have like some type of godly counsel. The only problem I would have with men sitting around talking with each other if that man doesn't grow. So am I sitting by another man who, if I'm a man sitting with another man who is telling me, oh, women ain't this and this and that, or not trying to help to develop themselves or to show up better as a man to help it, who are you getting counsel from? That's the big question. What are you, watching every day to to show up as a better person? This is for men and women. What are you feeding
But
yourself?
it's
So
like
you
you
show
said,
up better?
Stacey, though, when you come to yourself, right, you'll be able to see the people and you could kind of get an inkling of where they're getting counsel from, if they're even getting it at all. You could tell that when you get counsel yourself and you go through the process yourself and you continuously go through that process and you continuously seek for them answers, because a lot of people don't seek for answers. They wait for the answers to come to them or whatever the case may be. But when you continuously do that, you could tell the people who don't. You could tell the people who don't want to change. You could tell the people who's not really going to people who's going to help them grow. Like you said, Stacey, you want to be with somebody that's continuously growing. You want to always be in the seat of a student. And there's so many people that's like, nah, I'll be the teacher. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And only 25% of African Americans go to therapy compared to 40% of whites.
Help you out, or in different areas, or Trev, like there's areas in which that you lack. You want to make sure that you're around men who have experienced different things. Like, man, I'm out here in the world, and I'm around a lot of women, but I'm secure in my marriage. I have a secure woman, and you may want to be like, oh well, what characteristics or what strategy? Just like negatively sometimes in the past, that like Sierra was talking about, we sort of learn those defense mechanisms against men instead of learning how to show up to be a whole woman, so that when we do partner with you know, a man in a healthy relationship, I mean, we can make the world tremble. So, I mean, that's just what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, so I believe that there are some people who should see a licensed person, right? If it's severe, and that's what's going to work for you, right? So that is good in some instances, but that doesn't mean that my therapy is going to look like yours. I've never been to an actual therapist a day in my life, and I'm fine. My therapy might be to jump in my car and do 100 miles an hour. My therapy might be to go smoke a J, or maybe to socialize with my friends. What? Your therapy might be a glass of wine. It could be anything, right? That's therapy, therapeutic to me.
No,
it can be.
That's a coping mechanism. Wine is a coping mechanism. That's not therapy, sir. That's a coping mechanism.
It
Driving
can be therapeutic.
100 miles per hour because you're mad is a coping mechanism.
No, that doesn't mean you're mad. Dopamine. That's just what you might
I'm
do something.
You know, that brings on dopamine. That brings on adrenaline. Same thing as drinking. That's coping, not therapy. That's crazy, bro. That's nuts.
Just for the record, really quick, only 21% of women have sought out therapy over the last year or so. And also reference, that's 21% of all women, not just African American. That's 21% of all women. And we know that
80-20.
And we know that 25% of all African Americans actually seek out therapy, and versus 40% of women. Versus 40% of white people. So when we sit over having this conversation as if black women are just seeking out therapy in masses and black men are not, that's a lie. We are not. We're pretty much relatively the same. We're relatively the same.
This is wild. This is crazy.
It's not wild. Look it up. This is a Google search away. All you do is look it up, but you got on here and lied to everybody.
Let me stop. You went to Google to search how many black women are in therapy instead of enrolling and seeing what resources are available to you to get in therapy. So you did matter?
Does it matter?
Hold on,
does it matter? It doesn't matter because the thing is, the whole point, the reason why was because you made a point, you made a statement. It doesn't matter what I went out and did, because you made a statement and I came to prove you wrong. Don't move the goalposts. Don't try to make this a personal attack. Don't move the goalposts. Do not move the goalposts. You made a statement about black men not seeking therapy, but black women are, and I looked up the data. Why didn't you just say black people need therapy instead of trying to make it as if black women are seeking out therapy? No, they do not. I just told you that's not true. I just told you that's not true.
This guy
only 21%. What are you talking about? 21%.
Hold on, wait a second. This guy just said to me, he said, "I've never been to therapy and I'm fine."
Who gives a shit what he said?
That's the problem.
Well, Aundreaxx, I said something about
you know what?
You talking about one person.
And first off, I didn't say that these are things that I do. I don't smoke. I don't even drink anymore. So this is just things that people do, right? I said everyone's looks different. I don't do that stuff. So
that's not
we can't even.
Gotta let you know that's not therapy. Please don't put that out.
But what I'm saying is that not everyone's therapy is going to look the same, right? Regardless if you don't agree with those particular methods, right?
Not therapy. Please don't put that out in the audience, sir.
Okay, and you keep but you're going on that. My point is,
you let Andrea put out on the internet that black women going to therapy in mass and black men aren't, and you ain't saying shit to that.
Hold on, bro. Sweeney.
Because the point that I was making was that everybody's therapy looks different.
To Aundreaxx, but Trev,
why did you stop her?
Listen to.
Why didn't you stop her?
Because Aundreaxx is trolling. Everybody knows Aundreaxx just saying her crazy shit. But Trev is serious. So if you're serious, I'm be like, yo, hold on, bro. Like, no. Because somebody will hear Trev and believe him.